My name is Daniel Carter, and I moved into an old farmhouse at the edge of a small town called Ravenswood. I did not move there because I liked it. I moved there because it was cheap, quiet, and far away from everything. The realtor gave me the keys with a strange smile. When I asked about the house, he only said, "People don't stay here for long." At the time, I laughed. Now I wish I hadn't. The house stood alone at the end of a long dirt road. Tall black trees surrounded it, their branches scraping the roof like thin, bony fingers. The paint was peeling, the windows were cloudy, and the wooden porch made a low groaning sound even when there was no wind. On my first night, the air inside felt heavy, thick, almost alive. At exactly 2:47 a.m., I heard slow footsteps coming from the basement. Heavy, dragging, unnatural. The next morning, the basement door was wide open. I was certain I had locked it. When I went downstairs, the air was freezing, colder than it should have been. The light flickered, and on the dusty floor I saw a large circle made of ash. Strange symbols were drawn around it, symbols I did not understand. The darkness in the basement felt like it was staring back at me, watching me, judging me. I quickly went upstairs and tried to forget what I'd seen. But that night, at 2:47 a.m. again, the footsteps returned. This time, they stopped right outside my bedroom door. The handle moved slowly. Then 3 heavy knocks echoed in the silence. Knock, knock, knock. I whispered, "Who's there?" There was a long pause, and then a voice answered from inside my room, cold and breathless. "You are not alone." The lights went out, and I felt something standing inches behind me. The next day, I went into town and spoke to an old woman who ran the grocery store. When I told her my address, her face went pale. She told me the house once belonged to a man named Jonathan Whitmore, who practiced dark rituals in the basement. One night, he tried to summon something he could not control. After that, he vanished. His wife was later found, standing in the darkness staring at the basement door. She never spoke again. That night, I gathered my courage and went back downstairs. Halfway down, my flashlight began to flicker. At the bottom, the candles around the ash circle lit themselves. Then from the center, a tall, shadowy figure slowly rose. Its eyes glowed faintly. I wanted to run, but my body would not move. Then everything went black. I woke up hours later on the cold basement floor. My hands were burned, my clothes were torn, and my throat hurt like I had been screaming. The ash circle was gone. After that night, the house became worse. Doors slammed shut with no wind. Objects moved by themselves. Sometimes when I looked in the mirror, my reflection moved a second too late. Every night at 2:47 a.m., I heard the footsteps again. But now they were not just in the house. They were inside my head. One night I found myself standing in front of the basement door without remembering how I got there. My hand moved on its own. The door opened. As I walked down, a low voice whispered, "Daniel, you belong to me now." On the final night, I stood in the center of the basement as the ash circle formed around me once more. The candles burned bright and the dark figure returned, taller and closer than before. It spoke through my mouth in a voice that was not mine. "This house never lets its guests leave." The walls began to shake. The lights shattered. Then, silence. The next morning, a new family arrived to see the farmhouse. The realtor smiled and handed them the keys. As they stepped inside, a faint whisper drifted through the walls. "Welcome home." And deep in the darkness of the basement, a soft voice remained, saying, "My name is Daniel Carter, and I never left."